Good morning and welcome to The Breakfast Show. I'm your presenter, Eamon.
And I'm Rosie. In today's news headlines, our main feature on the Ukraine crisis continues. We look at the winners of the logo competition who are SE11. In sports news, an exclusive interview with some of the Year 11 footballers, and finally, a school-related news and shout-outs.
But first, the political unrest in Ukraine is still dominating our headlines. I spoke with Mr. Thompson, Mr. Lancashire and Mr. Browning about the situation.
I'm aware that Ukraine as a country has been occupied presently by the Russian forces under the auspices of security for the Russian-speaking population that lives in the Ukraine.
Do you think it's okay for people in Ukraine to do anti-government protests, bearing in mind there have been many casualties?
The Ukrainian as a population has the right of free speech, and as an independent country of Russia, they have the right to speak freely and have freedom of movement. So they do have the right to protest in a peaceful and lawful manner, definitely.
I think what makes it difficult is that when it starts getting violent, and inevitably there are always going to be some extreme people who are going to do that, but I think it's people's right to protest against something that they're against. If it's done in the right way, I think there's always going to be, and you'll always see, whether it is on this element or on other people's, there will always be protests. If it's done the right way, it has the right effect.
Do you think Russian President Vladimir Putin has the right to take over Crimea, or do you think they should have waited for international support?
I definitely don't think he should have ever done anything to do that. He should have waited and gone down the right lines. But I think this is where the Russian government has massively overstepped the mark.
I don't think he has the right to take over Crimea. I think there are processes, and although they've gone through a referendum, there are huge questions about that referendum. I think, as we've said earlier, it is complex. The people in Ukraine have a right to choose their governments, but obviously that needs to be done in full, clear, democratic elections. I think the problem is what's happening in Crimea, where the Russians have basically gone in and taken over that area.
How effective do you think peaceful protests are, or do you think aggression is necessary to gain attention?
I think peaceful protests can be very, very powerful. I think one of the most amazing things that I've been able to see is actually how South Africa went through a process. And yes, there were violent protests that happened in there, but the expected outcome of what happened in South Africa compared to what actually happened was incredibly peaceful. And other countries have had similar examples of revolutions that have happened peacefully, or protests that have happened peacefully. It is a difficult question to say at some cases where you would actually think that an armed struggle is appropriate. But I would say in the majority of cases that actually peaceful process, democracy are the way forward.
Thank you, Mr. Browning. I'm Eamon, and I've been asking Mr. Browning's opinion on the Ukraine crisis.
At the start of the year, the podcast group held a competition to find an artistic and colourful design of a logo. The winning coaching group was SE11. Congratulations to them. Here is our reporters Aziza and Amanda, who interviewed some members of SE11.
Hi, my name is Aziza and this is Amanda on the camera. In a few seconds, I will be interviewing members of SE11. The coaching group created a logo for the podcast, and I'm going to go interview them. What's the best thing being in SE11?
Everybody takes part and there's good teamwork and we support each other.
Okay, thank you. How did you work as a team?
We all had different ideas, so we mixed it all together and then we made something good.
Okay. This was the interview with SE11 and back to the studio.
We will now go over to Esther at the sports desk and Pauline for some shout-outs.
Thank you, Eamon. At the start of the Easter holiday, our Year 11 football team set off on an exciting trip to Holland to take part in a football tournament. Here are our reporters who went along to interview the boys alongside their football coach, Miss Gilpin.
Hi, I'm here with Miss Gilpin, Nassim, Bruce and Marcel, who are in the Year 11 football team. She's their coach.
I'm interviewing them on their trip to Holland that they recently went to and succeedingly won 2 of their matches that they played. And I'm here to ask them some questions. So, how did you feel when you successfully won, not 1 but 2 matches?
Who wants to go first?
It was good. Yeah, we know we're good and just proved it, to be honest.
We felt really proud of ourselves going out there and proving that we're just not good in England, but good in other countries as well. So it felt good.
Happy to play as a team, really.
I was happy.
What emotions did you feel before and after the match?
Oh, I was nervous, to be honest, because it's a new country. We haven't been there before. We thought, he's like going to give us a kicking and yeah. But then, yeah, it was good.
To be honest, I felt like scared because I thought European football would be better than football in England. So I thought I would be getting more of a challenge there, but it was basically the same. But it was quite good, to be honest, after the match. Yeah.
I didn't even feel nothing. I just wanted to play football.
I think I was most nervous with the second team we played because when we watched them training, they were really good to watch. They looked organised, they were accurate with their shots, but when it came to the game,
They couldn't handle us.
They couldn't handle us.
What was the best part of the whole trip?
The food. Yeah, it was a 3-course meal, wasn't it? Every day.
Yeah.
Well, all 4 days.
The nights.
For me, it was just chilling in the hotel with the whole team, enjoying ourselves, playing cards. It was just, it was jokes, to be honest.
And the bowling was good too.
Yeah.
And the laser tag.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
And I've been a golfer as well, good.
Do you think there should be more trips like this?
Yeah.
Because we're gone, I don't think so. There shouldn't be anymore.
If they bring us back, then yeah.
Bit biased.
Definitely, because I think it like bring people together and then they'll get to know each other more and about the background and that. So I think they should.
Will you miss the Year 11 team after you leave?
Definitely, we're like a big family now.
Yeah.
We're like a big family, so definitely.
And lastly, are you planning to pursue your careers in football?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I am.
Thanks. I've been Esther. Back to the studio.
And finally, some shout-outs. The Year 11 Prom Committee has raised over £700 for the prom, which will be used for decorations and to reduce the price of tickets for the students. As reported in March, this year's prom theme is the Grammys. The Year 11s have started their GCSE exams, and now we want to wish them all the best of luck. Make sure to keep the noise down as you walk around the corridors. Also, a date for your calendar. Last day of term is the 23rd of March. Yay! Back to you guys.
Before we go, we're pleased to say that Viron, Year 8, Vidas, Year 9, Ivan, Year 10, with Reserve Pilene, Year 9, have got through to the Ask Italia Interstate Cookery Final to be held on 15th May at Allerton High School, alongside 10 other lead schools. The finalists will be cooking a 3-course Italian meal that could possibly be part of the Ask Italia menu if they win. Well done to all.
That's all from us now. Remember to tune in next time for another episode of The Breakfast Show.
SC11.